Everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michaela and today we're going to be doing a reverse harem recommendation video. For those of you who don't know, a reverse harem is a relationship between 3 to 5 guys and 1 female character, pretty typically. It varies by series if there are any sexual interactions between the male characters. For the sake of this video, I'm not going to include those, but please let me know if you would like me to, because I'd be more than happy to give you some recommendations in another video. All of these series are completed, which was another really important thing, because I know that when I'm on a reverse harem bender, I like to read the entire series and like go with all of it. And all of these books are super steamy. A lot of reverse harem books kind of has some high stakes situations, so there are definitely trigger warnings for a lot of these books. I'm going to link them all down below on Amazon as well as Goodreads, so you can kind of read through comments, gauge if it's something that you'd be interested in, or if there are some things in there that you're just not comfortable with. Without further ado, let's get on with the recommendations. First up, we have the Havoc Boys by C.M. Stunich. I had to start this video off with a bang, pun intended, and include my favorite reverse harem series of all time. This is the tale of Bernadette Blackbird and her quest for revenge. This is set in Oregon in a small town called Prescott, where the divide between the haves and the have-nots is vast. A year prior to the start of the series, Bernadette's older sister Penelope kills herself after being sexually abused by their stepfather Neil, who is a crooked cop, as well as having ties to the justice system. A lot of his family members are high up in politics as well as having links to white supremacist groups. As a last act of a desperate woman, Bernadette calls havoc on the first day of her senior year of high school, which puts Hale, Aaron, Victor, Oscar, and Callum into her service. The price for calling havoc is steep, which Bernadette knows all too well because she herself was the target of a brutal takedown by them in her sophomore year. During this time, Victor locked her in the cupboard for a week. She lost her relationship with Aaron, who was her childhood sweetheart and first love. It's not the best idea to do this, but it truly is her only option to try to right some of the wrongs and create a better life for herself and her younger sister, Heather. Bernadette isn't counting on is that the price for calling havoc is herself. For the first time ever, they are going to take in a new member of Havoc, and Bernadette will be their Havoc girl. Usually they would get people to move drugs or money or something like that for her, but they've decided to initiate her into the gang. The 5-book series, so some of the relationships that Bernadette has with some of the boys takes a little while to get going. With a couple of them, it's really fast burn from the get-go. It's just like, boom, we're into her, she's into us, let's get it poppin'. I think that one of my favorite things about this book is that there's a really distinct line between the relationships with all of the boys. They're brothers, like they will die for each other, they have killed for each other. Bernadette really fits in perfectly with their life, and as you read more, you kind of understand more about where that comes from. I definitely really like how it evokes different feelings when she's with different boys. Like when she's with Aaron, you sort of have that feeling of childhood romance and that nostalgia, and with Victor, it's just like fucking fire and gasoline. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just these people, they probably shouldn't be together, but they're perfect together, and it's just they thrive on that kind of insane environment. The boys are massively damaged, but it definitely is an amazing found family element, and I think that this is just always going to be my favorite reverse harem series. So if you're going to take anything away from this recommendation list, please let it be the Havoc Boys by C.M. Stunich. Totally going to change things up with the Curse of the Gods series by Jamin Eve and Jane Washington. This one's a little bit kind of funnier, a little bit sillier. It is also like a paranormal sort of Greek mythology retelling. So this is a 5-book series with our female lead character Willa, and in this world the people are divided into 2 groups: the souls and the dwellers. So souls are humans who have the ability to become gods. They basically can work their whole lives and maybe they'll be favored and they'll ascend into goddom. But unfortunately, of course, Willa is a dweller because this bitch has got so many problems. She is like a walking calamity. She is chaos incarnate, basically. She is really clumsy. Her personality is really polarizing. She is like the pariah of her village. So when her best friend rigs it so that Willa is going to be given a spot at Blesswood, the best academy for future souls in their entire world, the town is so happy to get rid of her. Like they basically throw a party when she's leaving, and there's just like no takesies backsies. You've got to go to Blesswood. You've got to do this. See you later. Have fun being a dweller and essentially a servant for these people who could one day become gods. When Willa is there, she meets Yael, Rome, Siret, Aros, and Cohen. Abcurse. So they're 5 brothers. I think that 2 of them are twins and the other 3 are triplets, I want to say. And they just seem to be a little bit more blessed than the other souls that are at Blesswood. Through a series of circumstances, Willa becomes their servant And that is when the fun really begins. Of all of my recs, this one's probably going to be the tamest. Willa is definitely a polarizing character. I found her really endearing. I just thought she was kind of like really funny, and I read this one so long ago. It was probably one of my first reverse harems that I didn't really realize it was a reverse harem going into it. You know, when you're kind of reading something or even just a normal book and you're like, is this going to be a reverse harem? This is a reverse harem, definitely. I think that Curse of the Gods is definitely a series worth reading. It's a lot of fun, and it's definitely great if you're sort of into that paranormal, Greek mythological retelling sort of vibe. This next one is perfect if you feel like you're lagging a little bit behind on your Goodreads goal. It is Scream for Us by Molly Doyle. This one's only 84 pages, and it is about our main character Quinn, and she is at a Halloween party, runs into these guys. One of them's wearing a ghost face mask, one's wearing a Michael Myers mask, and the other one's wearing a Jason Voorhees mask. And let me tell you, this book taught me some shit about myself. That's all I'm gonna say. Three masked guys instantly become protective of Quinn. This is super fast burn, obviously. I mean, it's only 84 pages. I can't really tell you too much else besides there's blood, stabbings, fluids, masks, really confusing feelings within yourself probably. I also know that Molly Doyle has a Christmas novella called Melt for Us, which is just essentially a fuck fest. You know, it's great. It's a reverse harem. Come on, it's just a bit of fun, guys. We've got the Dark Side series by Christy Cunning. This is about a ghost named Keela who sort of came into existence about 5 years ago. She seems to be spiritually tied to our 4 male main characters. So we've got Kai, Jude, Ezekiel, and Gage, and they're not entirely human themselves. When a sneak attack occurs and Keela is able to become corporeal and defend the guys, give them the heads up that there is some serious shit about to go down, they are pretty rightfully confused, and she is just like an excited puppy. She's like, oh my God, I've been in love with you guys for years. How are you? It's like so amazing. And they're just obviously really skeeved out that this person appeared from actually nowhere and claims to have been watching them for half a decade. So this is when the story really ramps up and we're sort of introduced to a world of demons and trickery and kind of underhandedness and secret. But as Keela's powers start to grow and manifest, the guys rightfully become suspicious, and I really love how in a world where this is sort of a paranormal setting, it's not accepted that something weird is going on. Like, they want answers. I felt like it was a really authentic reaction to the situation that they were put in. It also really helped the plot to unfold properly instead of the male characters just sort of accepting that that's the way it was. It had a lot to do with plot devices, and it was really great in that respect. Really engaging revelations in every installment. I felt like the story is really evolving organically. I think that the world building on this one is absolutely fantastic, and it's definitely worth checking out. So we've got the Slate View High trilogy by Eva Ashwood, and I read these 3 books in the space of about 10 hours. So if that tells you anything about their bingeability, I hope that you understand that it's just like, boom, you can get through these. They're absolutely awesome for that. Delia is a pampered society princess living in a really affluent suburb in Baltimore and is just the perfect child for her parents. At the many parties that her parents throw, the IRS comes knocking and Cordelia's perfect world starts to crumble. Cordelia's father is arrested for fraud and a multitude of other crimes, so it's goodbye prep school, hello the rougher side of town. First day of school, she is basically the immediate target for everyone. They say that her father undercut a bunch of businesses. He is the reason that people are dead because they couldn't access medical care. People have lost their businesses, their houses, everything. So Cordelia is instantly public enemy number 1 until she is approached by 3 boys referred to in school as the Lost Boys. So we've got Bishop, Misael, and Case. They are the standover men of a crime boss within Baltimore, and they offer Cora protection if she becomes theirs. This is a pretty fast burn series. We jump right into the romance. It is kind of like a bully romance, but I mean, like, it's finished within 2 pages. I definitely find that with Eva Ashwood's books, they're pretty low stakes, even though some really dramatic things happen. The characters are put into some pretty sketchy and dark situations. You kind of know that everything's going to be okay, and that's like what we want at the end of the day, right? So this has some serious binge potential with some really hot sex scenes to boot, especially the first one. If you know, you know. So guys, that was just a quick little reverse harem recommendation video. Let me know in the comments down below if you would like me to do more. I have read so many reverse harem series, it's fucking embarrassing at this point in time, but I do what I do because I love you. If you are new here, I would love to have you subscribe as well. Hit the thumbs up. That you're having a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Lots of love, hugs, and kisses. Mwah! Bye.